Welcome to Polynesian Club's 18th annual Luau, a collaboration between Ayala and Chino High School Polynesian Clubs for the first time in more than 15 years. We present to you Ho'oma.
The collective grandeur of Polynesian dancing resides in many different virtues. This year, we have called on Ho'omau, the value of perseverance and persistence. Throughout the course of a year that has tested the limits of humanity's strengths and abilities, the power of Ho'omau has pulled us through the greatest devastations and victories. This year has separated people from one another, making lines of communication extremely difficult and laborious. In-person practices ceased and virtual meetings took its place. Whatever difficulties encountered in person were magnified in the digital world. Despite the technical difficulties associated with online meetings and the mental anguish that came with the pandemic, we, as an ohana, persevered. This year has been challenging, yet it taught us more than ever the need to stick together in times of adversity. In the spirit of Ho'omau, Ayala High School and Chino Hills High School have decided to collaborate and bring you this year's virtual luau. As we maneuver in a time of great uncertainty, we hope to ground ourselves in the principle of Ho'omau by taking a look back at what got us here in the first place. The original founder of Ayala's Polynesian Club was Ashley Beldone, who began the club in 2001 during her senior year of high school with our first advisor, Mr. Caps.
I started Polynesian Club because I've been doing dance ever since I was like 8 or 9 years old. And I would go to studio, I would leave studio, come in and out.
The studio she was referring to was called Pacific Island Dancers, or PID for short. Even today, people from all different age groups and backgrounds perform in PID, and we would like to highlight one of those dances they learned this year.
Pearly shells from the ocean, shining in the sun, covering the shores. When I see them, my heart tells me that I love you more than all those little pearly shells. However, ika nuku naka naka e nawe mai e ika mea ho o ka aina ahe aina ua kaulana mai na kupuna mai ala hula pupulawa e ala hele no ka ahu ahau. For every grain of sand upon the beach, I have a kiss for you, and there'll be more left over for each star that twinkles in the blues. Pearly shells from the ocean, shining in the sun, covering the shores. When I see them, my heart tells me that I love you more than all those little pearly shells. More than all those little pearly shells.
As she was growing up, her appreciation for Polynesian dancing grew, and entering high school, the pool of people she was surrounded by increased.
At Ayala, it's a campus of 3,000 people or so. I think it was when I was a freshman or maybe a sophomore, and somebody said to me, "Oh, you do Polynesian dancing? There's a couple other people here on campus who do Polynesian dancing as well." I'm like, "Really? Who are they?" And they're like, "Oh, I don't know."
She wanted to meet these people who shared the same passion for Polynesian dancing at Ayala, and the club was created as a medium for the dancers to meet up.
So I got the idea for the club when I was in my freshman year, tried starting it in my junior year, and finally got started in my senior year.
Some of the challenges she faced while creating the club involved finding officers and writing up the charter. As Ashley explains,
by the time I entered my junior year, I don't think I really knew a whole lot of people who were interested in a Polynesian dance. So I did know 2 people, Charlene and then Ashley Wakiyama. They became my officers, and they were the 2 I started with for sure. And then the second hurdle was just getting the charter started. That was the thing that probably took me the most time and tripped me up the most, because I had to write the entire thing by myself.
Although running the club with only 3 people was an achievement that could not be overlooked, getting guys to join a club that was mainly geared towards girls took a new dimension of brainpower.
One of my advertisements for the club was, "Hey guys, come to Polynesian Dance Club, you'll meet lots of girls."
With the club boasting over 20 members, Ashley Baldwin had a luau in mind for the year 2002. However, the unexpected passing of her grandmother earlier in the year delayed her goal.
My grandmother is the one who inspired me to dance, and she's from Hawaii, so I became a dancer because of her. She passed away early in the year. While I loved having club and dancing was still a solace for me, it was also still painful because it reminded me of her so much, and I was trying really hard to, just be normal and just be a kid. I felt like I was the only one doing all of the arranging, so when I was dealing with my own personal stuff, I didn't know how to make the luau happen.
Ashley Baldwin's successor, Ashley Wakayama, who took over the club during the 2002 and 2003 school year, successfully executed the first ever luau in collaboration with Chino Hills High School.
It was at that time that we said, well, let's take this another step further. Instead of just doing a dance or two or a rally, how about a luau?
The luau took place at Chino Hills High School and initiated the start of many annual performances to come. We would like to take a moment now to showcase this year's rally dance.
Kata-kata mai, ola tawa kie, mana yo te hiva, lulu mata mali e. Mata mai, tula tawa kie, hangalia te hiva, lulu mata mali e. Mimita te hiva,
Lulu haka mali e.
Tupati, tulupati, pati, malulu e.
Lulu haka mali e.
Kata-kata mai, ola tawa kie, mana yo te hiva, lulu mata mali e. Mata mai, tula tawa kie, hangalia te hiva, lulu mata mali e. Mimita te hiva,
Lulu haka mali e.
tulupati, pati, malulu e. Tulupati, pati, malulu e.
Every year, Chino Hills High School Polynesian Club starts their luau with a fast-paced Tahitian opening. Now, we present this year's opening dance. In 2004 to 2005, President June Nicole Cruz asked Mr. Higgins to become the new advisor for Ayala's club. Polynesian Club was, in his words, a life-changing experience. The dedication of each member, along with the increase in diversity of the member population, amounted to something beyond the idea of just a school club. Past members actively contribute to the growth of the club and would only make sense if we included them in this luau. We will take a moment to showcase some alumni from Ayala High School.
no Tahiti, te ia te pahu te to ere e te pū. Ahi mene te pehe no Tahiti, a ori te tamore no Tahiti, te ia te pahu te to ere e te pū. Tahiti, a ori te tamore no Tahiti, te ia te pahu te to ere e te ahi mene te pehe no Tahiti, a ori te tamore no Tahiti, te ia te pahu te to ere e te pū.
The amount of work that goes into planning a luau, choreographing, teaching, and even the act of showing up to practice often gets overlooked. Each individual contributes to the club in different ways. We would like to take the time to allow some of our past vice presidents to share their experiences in Polynesian Club.
It was really fun eating the food and hanging out after, a really long day and night of just like running around and setting up and like dancing. It's just so fun to just unwind with everybody all together afterwards.
Following Erica Regolato was Vice President Charles C. Prudente, who was willing to share her experience with the club in 2010.
My experience as an officer was absolutely fun and exciting and stressful, but I loved absolutely every minute of it. So one of my favorite memories from Polynesian Club is probably be my freshman year. It was the only year my older sister and older brother and I were on the big stage together.
In the years 2009 to 2015, Polynesian Club was an iconic part of so many members' high school experiences.
So Polynesian Club was always something special to me. Polynesian Club was always more than a club, and I think that's probably still how it is now. We wanted to honor the culture, and that was something I always appreciated about the club and the officers, was just the amount of care that they put into this club.
Ever since the early years of the club, Chino Hills Polynesian Club has performed a variety of Tahitian and Hawaiian dances. This Kahiko includes songs of both the raging sea and the intense fire.
Ai no ka moku kia kahi ke aloha. No ka moku kia kahi ke aloha la ka ele uhono I ka moana. Luau hoa e tikina ta hope pa ali wapono I ka paleka. Paina ia mai ka kuana la no ka moku kia kahi ke aloha. Aina ho ia mai ka kuana la ka ele uhono I ka moana. He mele aloha no ku umoku kia kahi.
Ai o ke ahi alo no makua, kau kila wea I ke ahi e, kunia hula vela ke one, o a ke ahi lele I luna I ka ai ino a ke apua wahine, o kuna I ka ua ava paku I ka uahi, a ka lua, auna I ka wahi a pelela, Ayala, Ayala, ea. Hei no ano ka wahine o pele.
Kahiko is just one of the many annual dance concepts we perform at our luau. In the years 2016 to 2018, the club flourished under strong leaders that were passionate not only about dance, but about sharing it with others and helping those around them grow along the way. Thank you to Secretary Abby Kati from 2016 to 2017 for sharing with us their highlights in Poly.
And I would definitely say, I think one of my favorite moments as an officer was really just like summer practices when we would like come together and like choreograph and like figure out like the storyline of the show and like costumes and things like that. That was definitely the moments where we really bonded as a board, and I think those were like my favorite moments as an officer. So.
On that note, Chino Hills Poly Club would like to honor our alumni and those who have helped us along the way with our very special annual performance of Ka Uluwehi o Ke Kai.
He ho'oheno ke ike aku ke kai moana nui la nui ke aloha e hi'i pohine me ke ala o ka lipoa He ho'oheno ke ike aku ke kai moana nui la nui ke aloha me ke ala o ka lipoa He lipoa e pai ke one hinu hinu la vela I ka la ke ia e mai mana o he pono ke ia
In 2018, Mrs. Jolly and Miss Ye became the new advisors of Ayala Polynesian Club when Mr. Higgins retired. Along with Mrs. Jolly came a new set of officers who threw one of the biggest luau's in Ayala Polynesian history. With over 100 members that year, President Jared Fani and Ashley Santos recall some of their most monumental memories with the club in 2019.
Being an officer or being a president, luau is hectic as heck, but I think our 2019 Luau Haka was something so spectacular, something so amazing. It was so good, and I'll forever remember 2019 Haka.
So for me, the thing that made Poly Club so great is the members and how much that they really encapsulated what the true meaning of having an ohana is. I think the best part is that through all that time together, even if you never talked to someone in the club, you still considered them like a part of your poly ohana.
As we all know, March 2020 momentarily put the world on pause as the deadly virus swept across the globe. The Ayala Polynesian Club worked extremely hard throughout the year, spending hours after school each Tuesday along with additional Saturday practices, only to sue a worldwide lockdown that prevented any mass gatherings from taking place. Co-President Carlos Alvarado has a few words regarding his time with Poly in the year of the pandemic. As Carlos states, "My experiences as an officer was great and a little rocky. The people on the board were all great, as well as all the members who were part of the club." On March 13th, Chino Hills High School Polynesian Club had an emergency meeting after school to announce the cancellation of our luau. The members cried for an hour and went through a whole box of tissues from Miss Garcia. President Robin Roble recounts her time in Poly.
I really loved it. I really loved dancing, making dances, and the bond I have with all of the members and all of my officers. It was so fun, and it was something that really changed me, because before I was so shy, I didn't talk to anyone, and then now it puts me out of my comfort zone, and it was just like a big family that I loved.
Since the luau was canceled for the school year 2019 to 2020, we thought it would be suiting if we showed each school's rally during the Ayala High School 8th grade orientation and the Chino Hills High School class comp rally. all this being said, we would like to showcase the rest of the dances we had planned for this year's virtual luau. Despite the separations we have had in the past, we have been and will be continuously united. We hope to exemplify this case with our joint mega finale. These are unprecedented times. No recent generation in American history has ever gone through what we are going through right now. We have adapted and pushed forward with resilience regardless of our current circumstances. Though battered, the club is still alive and seeks to establish its footing in the post-pandemic world. Before we conclude our annual luau, Mrs. Jolly, the past alumni, and the current PVP board have something to say.
Our members and our officers are some of the most dedicated students at Ayala High School. I love that our members will show up regardless of the weather for practice. They will give it their all regardless of if it's too hot, freezing cold, or raining. We will find ways to hold practice just so that we can have our members work on the choreography for the luau, and I love the dedication that every member brings with them to our weekly practices.
Whenever you guys get to see each other and get to be together, just bring that sense of warmth and respect and you know, just general love for each other.
I know you guys were dealt a pretty crappy hand this year and last, but just make the most of what you got. And you know, the Polynesian Club will always be your ohana, and will always be here to support you no matter what. And all your hard work and commitment will pay off in the end.
The legacy the club leaves behind is something so amazing, and I don't think any other club in Ayala can do. The family that you create and the love for a culture that you have or develop, and just to have a great time in high school and create new friends and honestly have fun. That's what it's all about, and the club does an amazing job at doing that.
So for the current members of the club, I just want to say, first off, thank you so much for falling in love with the culture. Thank you so much for still dedicating your time to the club and being so resilient through all this. Thank you to the officers. Thank you to the current advisors for even like being able to put on a luau itself, even though it's virtual. Like, these aren't the ideal circumstances, but you're making the most out of it, so thank you.
I know this year has been super different and difficult for everybody, but I would really like to say thank you to everyone who's just been there for us and who's supported us throughout all of it. So thank you to our advisors, our family, our friends, teachers, the alumni, our members, and the fellow officers for just being there for us and being there for the club and helping us put together this luau video.
I am grateful for our members and officers from both Ayala and Chino's high school. We worked so hard to put this luau out for everyone to enjoy, and yeah, I'm super proud of us, especially with everything that's been going on. I want to thank our advisors, friends, and family for all of their support, and I hope you all enjoyed luau. Thank you.
I wanted to say thank you to Mrs. Jolly for your dedication these past few years. I wanted to say thank you to the members. It's taken a lot of motivation and perseverance this year, especially since it's been isolating and hectic, so I really appreciate your presence around. And I wanted to say thank you to the other officers. In the future, I hope everybody continues living life like Polly, supporting that ohana spirit and just enjoying everything.
Thank you to everyone who worked so hard to put this luau together. Thank you to everyone who was part of this ohana, and it's truly been an honor to be associated with this club.
First of all, I'd just like to thank everybody who was able to come today to enjoy this luau that we were able to make with the help of so many people. I'd like to thank the alumni, our advisors, Mrs. Ye, Mrs. Jolly, thank you. All of our members, all of the officers, any other students or staff that may have helped us, thank you. And especially thank you to Chino Hills High School for collaborating with us this year. It was a very unique and amazing experience, and I'm glad we were able to do it.
Thank you to Mrs. Jolly for keeping this club going despite the hard times. Thank you to the officers and the members for spending time and their efforts for this year's luau.
I am so grateful to have had the opportunity to share such an amazing culture with you through our music, our dances, and our costumes. The bond that has been made in our Polynesian Club every year has been so amazing, which is why we cry every year at luau, banquet, and after party, just because we reflect on how much the people around us have helped us grow. And even if we weren't able to have that in-person experience for the majority of this year, the members showed more dedication than ever, showing up to 2-hour Zoom practices every week or impromptu filming sessions for our virtual luau. Polynesian Club is so special from any other experience that you'll get in high school, which is why to anyone that has joined the club, or to you who are watching this luau right now, I'm so grateful for all of you, and I'm so sad to have to say goodbye to this amazing club. I'm so proud of all the officers and members from both clubs for putting together such an amazing luau. Know that all the alumni, including myself starting tomorrow, will always be here for you and are genuinely hoping for the success of Poly Club in the future. Poly will always hold a special place in my heart, and I will definitely be sure to come back and visit. So I hope you do too, whether it's visiting the show next year or joining the club to come and perform. Thank you!
And finally, Mr. Hagen said, please continue to spread the Polynesian culture to the community. When you dance, do it authentically, do it seriously, do it with a smile, and make friends.